It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. And I see a couple people in the chat room are asking about the different songs that we play here.
Yeah.
Well, what I just played was a band called Shadowbane.
Shadowbane.
And that comes from their Facing the Fallout release, and the name of that tune is called Badlands Law. And just before that, we heard Rock Karma. That's all one word. It's ROCKARMA. Rock Karma.
Right. Sure.
And that was the title track from their CD just called Bring It.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff, man.
So for those of you who are looking for new music or something you may not have heard of before, there's a couple of cool bands right there.
Yeah, like both of those. So I liked all three of those songs you played, actually. The Emerald band was pretty good too.
Yeah, Emerald. So yeah. There's a lot of bands out there you'll never get to hear because unfortunately it's past the time that you would hear them on a radio or anything like that. So those are things you have to seek out, and if you just happen to stumble across them, that's kind of a shot in the dark.
I'll tell you, I say it all the time when we talk about it with the show. I love that we've switched away from the, rats round and round and shit like that. I'm loving the fact that every week it's 12 to 15 new songs that I just don't know.
Yeah.
And some of it's good and some of it's not. And, that's okay. Even the stuff that's not, I'm okay with something that I'm not necessarily into to hear it once, and get a vibe of something new. And, like, I hate to shit on any bands, especially the ones that we're going to be hosting with, but we played a couple last week I wasn't so into. But that's okay, because at least we learned, about something new, and that's all right too, because how many times are we going to hear the same fucking 30 bands?
Right.
Enough. I want to hear something new.
Yeah. So there you are.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've got a update on a story that we covered a few months ago.
Okay.
Do you recall the story where a husband tracked his wife with her iPhone app and caught her banging out some other dude?
Yeah. And then the guy got hit with trespassing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, this guy, he's cleared of all charges.
Good for him. How did he get away with it?
Well, let's find out.
All right.
This guy, his wife claimed that she was out doing other things and he was suspicious of her. Mm-hmm. So he tracked her with her iPhone app, like Find My Phone.
Yeah.
And he tracked her to some dude's house or whatever. And he kind of did the wrong thing. He basically let himself into the house.
Right.
And caught his wife banging out some dude.
Right.
But then he got charged with trespassing, and he could have served some time.
Yep.
Because he basically unlawful, breaking and entering.
Right, sure.
Which is really what he did.
Sure, he did. He broke into a house he shouldn't have.
Sure. But
didn't he have some thing about he thought that the wife was in, or he told the police he thought the wife was in
danger
or something? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he should have called the police if that's what he truly thought.
Right.
But okay.
Well, the only one guilty in this case was the cheating wife.
Of course.
A cuckolded husband who used the Find My iPhone app to track down his straying spouse and then barged into her lover's Rockland home and filmed them naked in bed together was cleared of burglary and spying charges.
Right.
Sean Donis, 37, wept at Rockland County Supreme Court Justice Kevin Russo after he found him not guilty after about 20 minutes of deliberation at the non-jury trial. So it was a bench trial.
Okay.
Thank God it's finally over, said Donis, the florist from Clifton, New Jersey. Now I can finally breathe.
Wow.
Donna,
I can see that'd be stressful as fuck.
Yeah, I could be going to jail after watching my wife bang out some dude.
Yeah, and knowing that while I'm in jail, he's going to continue to bang her.
Right. Donna's lawyer, Howard Greenberg, very good Jewish lawyer,
Yeah.
even went so far as to say his client deserved to be more than just cleared in court. He should get a medal for not acting out a crime of passion when he walked in on the scene. So he should get a medal for not going over there and beating the shit out of her or the dude.
Right. Is that them? Did Phil Lewis post?
Yes, that is them.
All right. And that guy, that big dude there, didn't beat some ass?
Apparently not.
Hey, more power to him. Holy smokes. Okay.
In the end, it's a very simple case. He commits trespassing that in the same jurisdiction is a violation, not a crime, and uncovered a greater evil of his wife screwing a stranger. Well, apparently he wasn't a stranger to the wife.
Yeah.
The suspicious hubby used the app to track down the family's iPad, which his wife, Nancy Donis, 38, had unwittingly taken with her to the boyfriend's house.
Right.
Sean Donis said that when he arrived at Lopez's house, the front door was unlocked and he went inside. Prosecutor Nabila McLeod asked Donis during a cross-examination whether he had permission to enter Lopez's home.
Okay.
Define permission, Sean Donis said. My wife was there. I rang the doorbell and knocked on the door. She could have been kidnapped. You never know.
Well, got a point. It's not true, but he does have a point.
Yeah. Then the lawyer asked, but you said you wanted to catch her. You felt you had the right.
Mm-hmm.
Donna shot back, if my wife wasn't there, I wouldn't have gone in.
But he didn't know, did he?
Well, he tracked her iPad there. But he
didn't.
But
because the iPad was there.
That's true. But he didn't know she was there, but maybe her car was in the driveway.
Yeah, probably.
He entered Lopez's dimly lit master bedroom to find his wife and her boss naked. And began filming them with his iPhone.
Why would he film them?
He should have jumped out and went, aha!
What the hell, man?
Lopez testified on Friday that he was terrified of what Donis would do at the same time.
Yeah.
The lawyer in her closing statement said that the scorned husband wanted to embarrass and humiliate and degrade the pair as much as possible.
Nice.
But in his closing statement, Greenberg offered some common sense advice to counter that notion, saying, you can't be too scared of anything if you screw another guy's wife. Take that, fucky.
Yeah, pal.
When you engage in adultery, you assume the risk and therefore consent in being exposed.
Yeah.
He contended that his client actually did a mitzvah, that is a good deed, by exposing Lopez's shenanigans with an underling. Lopez was the COO of Gotham City Orthopedics in Clifton at the time, and Nancy Donis was his billing manager.
Okay.
Sean Donis had faced up to 15 years behind bars on charges of burglary and on unlawful surveillance in this case. A crew from the British public television network, the BBC, was on hand for Tuesday's verdict as part of a larger documentary series in the making.
Right.
His life took a Me Too in 2016 before there was a hashtag Me Too.
Oh, nice.
Neither Lopez nor Nancy Donis were in court Tuesday. Phone calls to numbers listed for them and their relatives either went unanswered or they immediately hung up.
Yeah, the husband probably gave out their phone number.
Yeah. Yeah. Give this cheating bitch a call.
Yeah. Well, dude, if you're, and I have a feeling you can't speak on this, but I can, and sadly I can. This is not one of my more prideful moments, but if you're the guy that's fucking somebody that's already in a relationship, don't you have to go into that knowing at some point you're more than likely gonna be throwing punches?
Well, I would think that would be the case, yes.
I mean, you have to assume that you're going to have to fight the guy at some point. I mean, you can't just assume nothing's going to happen, right?
Well, I think what happens is that you think, or you fool yourself into believing that you're going to be so secretive about it that no one will ever find out.
Yeah, I guess.
I think that's the thing, that you're just going to be so slick about it.
Yeah.
That no one will be the wiser.
Or you just don't think about it. You just don't. I know I'm going to tell this story, and it's, again, not one of my better stories, but whatever. So when I was in Korea, I had this friend that was in he was from another unit. He didn't stay in our barracks.
And what was his name there, Rover?
I don't remember his name. Otherwise, I would tell it, I swear.
I had this friend.
Yeah, I have this friend. But he and I used to drink and party and stuff, which makes me crazy that I can't think of his name. But anyway, so there was a girl that stayed in our barracks, and her name was Deanna. And I dated this girl Deanna on and off. You know, like we hung out for a while, then we broke up for a while. She was difficult. She was definitely difficult, but she fucked like a goddamn wild animal.
And how is she different than any other woman?
Well, she was I guess there is truth to that, but she was more difficult than the other ones I was banging in Korea. Okay? I'll just put it that way. So, at some point, we were partying we used to have these parties on Saturdays in the barracks. It was right on the outside of the barracks. And we would just get tore the fuck up. And at one point, Deanna and I had broken up, and she started dating this guy from this other unit. I'm just going to call him Alan for now. I can't think of a name. I can't think of his name. So she starts dating this guy, Alan. And, she had been with him for like a month or two or whatever. And he wasn't at this party that we were at. He was coming by later. And so we were partying in the barracks, and we were still friendly, even though we weren't dating anymore. And we got a little, juiced up. And at some point, we ended up back in her room. And, clothes are off. We're making out. She's blowing me a little bit. We're having some fun. Everything's going good, right? Out of nowhere, her fucking door flings open. And here comes this dude.
Right.
And he comes barging in, and he's like, immediately, he fucking like dove. I was, I don't know, like trying to get up, and he like dove at me and fucking landed just a brutal punch right into my fucking face. It was like, boom. Like I was getting up, and he hit me with all of his force, plus I was going the other way. So he fucking rattled my face something awful. I'm spitting blood or whatever. But then it was, you know what? I was sort of experienced at that kind of shit. So I fucking started beating his ass. I jumped right up and started beating his ass. And boy, that had to be a scene. Fucking people running in to break up this fight. Here's me and this chick fucking naked, and I'm beating the shit out of this guy in uniform. They had to be wondering what the fuck was going on with that. But my point to this whole mess is that I knew if he found out, I was going to have to fight him. I just knew that.
Okay.
And I didn't care, because at 20 years old or 19 years old, whatever I was at that point, 18, 19 years old, I was invincible in my own mind. So that was part of the game. What I don't get from this story that you're telling is it doesn't seem like that was part of anybody's game here. There's like no fear anymore.
No.
And I don't understand how that can be. How can you cheat and not have fear?
Well, I think you were more in a enclosed or a very familiar locale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were like on a base, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, this lady, this woman,
Mm-hmm.
and her lover or whatever, they were free to roam anywhere in New York.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So the chances of running into somebody on the base is a lot higher than, driving 30 miles away.
Sure.
So nobody thinks that this is ever going to end up in an altercation, especially if you think you're so clever that you're going to be able to keep it on the down low.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard rumor that that my ex's current husband had plenty of fear in him about me.
Okay.
And did not want that to happen.
Well, yeah, okay.
And it just doesn't sound like this guy. This guy literally got caught and doesn't have fear. I'd be afraid to sue. If I was that guy, that filed the charges.
Yeah.
I think I'd be afraid to file the charges. Because that big dude might come back and fucking put a bullet in my head. If you're going, you know how it goes, dude. If you have fear that you're going to go to jail, especially for protecting your own honor with your, when your chick turns whore, holy shit. I would think that would put big fear in you. But he went through with it anyway. He had no fear of this guy.
Well,
for what reason?
But then again, you don't know what this guy was told by the chick.
Right.
I mean, for all he knew, she could have been saying, yeah, my husband and I were separated.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
too.
we're not, living together, or we're on the verge of a divorce, or,
right.
Who knows what she told him.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
So, again, not knowing all of the circumstance, you don't know what goes through people's minds.
Yeah, well, they need to get their story better so that we understand this.
Yeah, we want all the details, pal.
Yeah, let's get it all out there. Let's get this guy on the show.